the 16th of April, 2026, Thursday morning. Common Buddhist texts, guidance and insight from the Buddha. The chief editor is Venerable Maha Brahma Pandit, or Phra Maha Dharmakosajarn. We are in chapter 3. We already covered the Theravada tradition on the characteristics of the teaching, the Dhamma. Now we will further investigate the Mahayana tradition, qualities of the Dhamma. Worshipping the Dhamma. In this passage, the Dharma is primarily the profound teachings of Gautama Buddha. Blessed One, I have heard people speaking of worshipping the Dharma. What does it mean to worship the Dharma? The Blessed One said, worshipping the Dharma, son of a good family, means worshipping what the Tathagata has said. It means worshipping the profound sutras, which bring profound illumination. These sutras stand in opposition to everything mundane. It is noteworthy to know that the sutras means the truth. They are difficult to fathom, difficult to comprehend, and difficult to understand. They are precise, subtle. Their meaning cannot be perceived by the mind. They are included in the collection of the teaching on the Bodhisattva. Now, a Bodhisattva is a person on the stages to Arihatship or enlightenment. So, not fully awakened yet, a Bodhisattva. And affixed with the seal of the kings of the sutras and invocations, they reveal the unstoppable will of the Dharma. They grow out of the 6 perfections. They captivate those who are attracted to them. They follow the 37 practices which help one to attain awakening. Awakening which becomes a Buddha. And make use of the 7 factors of awakening. They introduce living beings to great compassion, to teach them about great loving kindness. They bring an end to the doctrines of Mara and explain dependent arising. They teach that there is no essential self, atta, living being, life force, or person. They teach emptiness, freedom from characteristics, freedom from aspirations, and freedom from accomplishments. They establish the seat of awakening and the will of the Dharma in motion. They are celebrated and praised by gods, nagas, yakshas, and gandharvas. They preserve the unbroken traditions of the true Dharma. They contain the treasury of the Dharma. They represent a correct understanding of how to worship the pinnacle of the Dharma. They are embraced by all the noble ones. They give instructions in all practices of the Bodhisattva. They introduce the Dharma, which is true nature of reality. They summarize the Dharma, teaching that everything which arises is anicca, impermanent, painful, dukkha, and without essential self, anatta, and calm. They demonstrate the harmful power of immortality. They warn those who are obsessed with the views and interpretations of false teachers. They are praised by all the awakened Buddhas. They are the antidote to samsara vata, the the round of rebirth and existence. They revealed the bliss of nirvana, nipita, or nibbana. Teaching sutras like this, setting them forth, preserving them, examining them, and understanding them. This is what it means to worship the Dharma. Now, this could be found in the Vimala Kiriti Nidesa Sutra in chapter 12, section 10 to 11. This translation was from Sanskrit form. Delighting in the pleasures of the Dharma. In this passage, the Dharma is the practice of the path of awakening. What does it mean to delight in the pleasures of the Dharma? The Vimala Kiriti says, it is to delight in the unbreakable confidence in the Buddha. It is to delight in the desire to hear the righteous Dharma. It is the delight in the company of the order, the Sangha. It is delight in honoring spiritual teachers. It is delight in escaping from the triple world. It is delight in being free from worldly spheres of activity. It is to delight and always regard the categories of existence as being like murderers. It is delight in viewing the elements as being like venomous snakes. It is like delight in the correct perceiving sense fields, but to be like an empty village. It is the delight in guarding the awakening mind. It is the delight in helping living beings. It is to delight in sharing what you have with others in the practice of generosity. It is delight in being conscientious in your practice of ethical discipline. It is the delight to being persistent in self-discipline in your practice of patient acceptance. It is delight in cultivating wholesome qualities in your practice of vigor. It is to delight in working on yourself in the practice of meditation. It is delight in ridding yourself of the defilements in your practice of wisdom. It is delight in the fullness of awakening. It is delight in defeating Mara. It is to delight in the destroying the defilements. It is the delight in purifying one's Buddha field. It is to delight in accumulating wholesome roots in order to perfect the bodily marks and the secondary characteristics of Buddha. It is the delight in not being afraid when you hear the profound Dharma. It is to delight in working hard to bring about the three kinds of emancipation. It is delight in the foundation of Nibbita, Nibbana, Nirvana. It is the delight in the adornments of the mandala of awakening, and of not attaining awakening at inappropriate times. It is the delight in serving those who conduct matches yours. It is delight in resisting with no hatred those who conduct does not match yours. It is the delight in serving your spiritual friends. It is to the delight in leaving behind friends who are bad influence on you. It is delight in the joy and the bliss of the Dharma. It is to delight in developing skill in means. It is the delight It is the delight in devoted with vigilance to the practice which helps one to attain awakening. This is what it means for a bodhisattva to delight in the pleasures of the Dharma. This is also from the Milala Kirita Nitesa Sutra, Chapter 3, Section 64, translated from Sanskrit. Another noteworthy most of the texts in Mahayana tradition are from Sanskrit. Dharma as the ultimate beyond words. This passage essentially identifies the Dharma with Nibbida or Nirvana, an ultimate reality beyond words. The Dharma cannot be formulated in concepts or words. Someone who formulates concepts such as, I will thoroughly investigate what is painful, give up the cause of what is painful, accomplish the cessation of the painful, and practice the path, is concerned with formulating concepts and not with the Dharma. The Dharma is accessible everywhere. It is like space, akasha. It has no colors, marks, or shapes. All manifestation have ceased. It has no concept of mind. It does not identify with the self. The formulation of the concept of mind has ceased. Its knowledge is not limited. The mind, the thought, and consciousness have ceased. It is like nothing else, as it has no rival. It has no causally arisen characteristics. It does not assume anything as its condition. It is united with the expanse of phenomena. It is integral to all phenomena. It makes reality accessible. It conforms to reality by not conforming. It is rooted in the ultimate goal, as it is completely unshakable. It is unshakable as it is not based upon the spheres of the six senses. It goes nowhere, comes from nowhere, as it is not located anywhere. It is united with emptiness. It is majestic in the freedom from characteristics. It is characterized by freedom from aspirations, deliberations, and reason have ceased. It is not raised up or cast down. Coming into being and passing away have ceased. It has no foundation. It has passed completely beyond the range of the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind. It is neither elevated nor sunk down. It remains firm. It has attained immovability. All wandering has ceased. This is also from the Dharmakosajarn Nitesa Sutra, Chapter 5, Section 3, translation from Sanskrit. Encompassing the emptiness is not like an empty vessel. It is like a void in space, of mere infinity. It's an infinity void, an emptiness. Not like an emptiness in something attainable, like a cup empty, or an object that is full and empty. Not that kind of empty. Reason for choosing to practice Buddhism. The Buddha as guide in dealing with human weaknesses. This passage portrays the situation of unawakened beings and appeals to the Buddha for help in dealing with the problems it describes. Surrounded by the moat of desire, fortified by the ramparts of arrogance, composed of all states of existence, this great fortress is the triple world. It is plunged in the darkness of delusion and ignorance, consumed by the flames of the three poisons, always subject to the power of the Lord Mara. Mara is the deceiver, delusion. This is where foolish children dwell. They are bounded by chains of craving, undermining good conduct because of their deceitful ways. Blinded by doubt and uncertainty, they wander the evil paths. Bound by jealousy and selfishness, they are led to unfortunate states of existence as rakshasas, hungry ghosts in beds, or as animals or in the hellish realms. Oppressed by birth, illness, old age, and death, they wander about stupefied in the will of existence, which is driven by the law of karma, the law of existence. The bright full moon of compassion, splendid sun of wisdom, rising to destroy the ocean of the defilements. The great sun shine down on me. The full moon of the great love and kindness, the light of your wisdom brings peace to the living beings, illuminating all without exception. Moonlight King, shed your brilliant radiance on me. The king of the realm of the Dharma, with the pure Dharma as your army, you turn the wheel of the true Dharma. May I be transformed by the excellent Dharma. I have vowed to attain perfect awakening. I have accumulating beneficial karma and virtue, and working to benefit all living beings. Great teacher, I ask for your protection. Clad in your armor of patient acceptance, banishing the sword of wisdom, help me to avoid disaster on the evil paths of Mara. This is from the Gandha Yuga Sutra, Taiso, Volume 9, the text 278. Translation is from Tibetan. Disputes and tolerances. The Bodhisattvas do not get involved in disputes. This passage sees the Bodhisattvas as inspiring people with their patience when disputes rage around them. The Bodhisattva Anantayuha addressed Gautama Buddha, Blessed One. In the future, when disputes and arguments arise, people filled with attachment will act violently towards each other. The three poisons will flourish and the true Dharma will be disrupted. At that time, Bodhisattvas, out of great compassion, will show patient acceptance in the midst of these events, so as to spread the Dharma without getting involved in any disputes, because they will not get involved in disputes. They will be able to embrace great loving kindness and great compassion and accumulate wholesome roots. This is from the Anta Mukha Parisotana Nidesa, Section 2, of the Maha Kura Sutra, Diso. This is also translated from Tibetan. Ultimate reality is not to be disrupted. This passage sees the way things are, the true nature of reality, also translated as suchness, as being words and disputes. Hence, one's attained to and avoids disputing with people. Sariputra. The way things are is the nature of reality. It is the nature of things which as they are, and which are not as they are not. It is the nature of what is irreducible, immovable, impenetrable. It is the nature of what is unstoppable, unopposed, what is not disputed. Moreover, Sariputra, the way things are cannot be disputed. As it cannot be disputed, it is said to be the way things are. Tathagatas, though, calls it disputed, Sariputra, things should be willingly accepted the way they are. Why then does the Tathagata describe it as disputed? Sariputra, this is because the Tathagata is opposed to all disputes. For this reason, a bodhisattva often avoids all disputes. Moreover, the Tathagata never engages in disputes and arguments. He has never been the cause of a single argument. Why is this? It is because the Tathagata does not oppose anyone and does not dispute and argue with anyone. Others, though, often oppose him and dispute with him. This is from the Bodhisattva Pitaka, section 12 of the Maha Kura Sutra, Daso, volume 11, translated from Tibetan. The teachings as the means to the end. The teachings should not be the object of clinging. This passage echoes that of the Theravada tradition, which compares the Dharma to the raft that helps one crosses the river from an unsafe side to the safe side, the peaceful side, Nibbita, Nibbana, Nirvana. It is used for this, not to be clung to once it is achieved its aim. Subhuti. A great being should not grasp at the Dharma, nor what is not the Dharma. This is what the Tathagata meant when he said, you should understand that a discourse on the Dharma is like the raft. You should leave the Dharma and certainty with what is not the Dharma behind you. This is from ch3 Prajna Parimita Sutra, section 6, translated from Sanskrit. The way to knowledge. The being on the stage of enlightenment should develop the many qualities of the path to awakening while dispelling any thought of these qualities being substantial, graspable entities. At that time, the Venerable Subhuti said to the Blessed One, the perfection of Panya, wisdom, then, is truly profound. There is no one who cultivates it, no arisen phenomenon which are cultivated, no place of cultivation, and no practice which can bring about its cultivation. Why is this? It is because it is inherent in the meanings of the profound perfections of Panya, wisdom, that there is not even the least truly existent phenomenon which can be called someone who cultivates. A phenomenon which is cultivated, a place of cultivation, or a practice which can bring about its cultivation. Blessed One, to cultivate space is to cultivate the perfection of wisdom. To cultivate all phenomenon is to cultivate the perfection of wisdom. To cultivate phenomenon which are not real is to cultivate the perfection of wisdom. To cultivate non-existence is to cultivate the perfection of wisdom. To cultivate the non-acquisition is to cultivate perfection of wisdom. To cultivate the removal of phenomenon is to cultivate the perfection of wisdom. This is from the Maharaja Prana Paramita Sutra, Daso, Volume 7, text 220, translated from Sanskrit or Tibetan. The teachings are pitched at different levels to attract all. Gautama Buddha adapts his teachings to the capacities of his hearers. In this passage from the text generally known as the Lotus Sutra, Gautama Buddha emphasizes that he uses skills and means to teach people, knowing that there are various inclinations. To those of relatively low inclinations, he teaches that the goal of nipita, in the sense of personal liberation from the rounds of rebirth, samsara vata, this way is the only one of three spiritual vehicles, though we see that the second vehicle is said to lead to becoming a solitary Buddha, one with strong wisdom, but not enough to compassionately teach others effectively. The third vehicle leads to become a perfectly awakened Buddha of immense wisdom and compassion. This is the fact that the goal that Gautama Buddha in the Lotus Sutra teaches is attainable by all beings. The first two vehicles are only provisionary ones, and their goal are not the real ones, the highest goal, which is the third, the Arihat stage. Listen, Sariputra, the Buddhas, the guides that teach the righteous Dharma of the Buddha, the best of men, by applying skill and means in hundreds and different ways. I have seen the intentions, the conduct, the various different inclinations, and the excellent deeds of countless living beings, as well as the wholesome actions they have performed in the past. And I bring these living beings to the righteous Dharma by giving various different kinds of interpretations and causal explanations, by giving reasons. In the hundreds of analogies, I bring joy to living beings. I speak the truth, recite verses, tell stories, Jataka tells of miracles, give summaries, make hundreds of comparisons. I also communicate in beautiful prose mixed with verse, and I give instructions. There are those who are inclined towards what is inferior, who lack knowledge, who have not practiced the countless dharmas from the Buddhas, who clung to samsara vata, the round of rebirth, who are not in great pain. To them I reveal nibbita, nibbana, nirvana. The self-arisoning one employs skill and means in order to awaken themselves to understand the Buddha, but would never declare you will become Buddha in this world. Sariputra, if I told living beings to cultivate the desire chanta for awakening, those ignorant beings would all go astray and never grasp the meanings of well-spoken words. I understand what they are like. Those living beings who have not spent a long time practicing in previous lives. They are fixated on sensual pleasures, intent on craving, stupefied by minds filled with delusion. They fall into the lower states of existence because of their sensual desire, kama gunas. Their minds tormented in the 6 realms of existence, ayatana. They fill the cemeteries again and again. With only a little beneficial karma, they are oppressed by dukkha, suffering. They are permanently entangled in the thicket of wrong views, miccha, ch3, thinking there is this, there is not. There is, it is like this, it is not like this. They rely on 62 kinds of wrong views and remain stuck in unreal. They are difficult to purify, arrogant, deceitful, crooked, dishonest, unlearned, and immature. Even in the course of the countless thousands of lives, the rounds of rebirth, they never hear the wondrous voice of the awakened Buddha. I use skill and means, Sariputra, to tell them, put an end to dukkha, suffering. I see the living beings are opposed by suffering, and so I reveal Nibbana, Nibbida, Nirvana to them. I tell them that all phenomena are permanently blissful and completely tranquil from the very start, and that their heir of the Buddhaship who completes their practice will in the future become the victorious one. I reveal the three stages as an application of skills and means, but there is only one stage and one doctrine. The guides have only one teaching. This is from the Dharmakosajarn Sutra, Chapter 2, translated from Sanskrit. Now that's the end of Chapter 3 of the characteristic teaching from the Mahayana tradition. On the next one, we will pick up on Vijrayana, the lesser vehicle. So the Mahayana is the greater vehicle, and Vijrayana is the lesser vehicle. And we will compare the three aspects of the Theravada, Mahayana, and Vijrayana traditions on Chapter 3 on characteristics of the teaching, the Dharma, the qualities of the Dharma in each light. This is the common Buddhist text, guide and insight from the Buddha.